What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be your Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 9, Episode 9 review. So, look, we're dealing with the aftermath of the Lisa Vanderpump, Kyle Richards takedown, right? The whole argument. And you know how they do their famous split screen thing, so they have all the ladies are out at lunch or having drinks or whatever, and Kyle's telling them what happened and talking about how the whole thing went down and how Ken got in her face and just how they put her out the house and everything. And we see Lisa sort of talking to Ken about it. And I mean, again, Lisa's just saying she just can't believe that Kyle would attack her like that. And, the whole situation, she just didn't understand how it got there. But she did tell Ken that he went too far. She did tell Ken that he was a little aggressive with how he talked to Kyle. And he sort of kind of said, yeah, I did, but he was upset, and he was defending his wife, and I can't be mad at him for that, but like I said, and we saw later on that Mauricio wasn't too crazy about how he talked to her too, but okay. So we find out that it's Lisa's birthday, and her husband and her kids are sort of planning something for her, just a little something, a little intimate, so she said she's just going to go along with it. So what ends up happening is, I'm going to be all over the place with this review, so just so you know. So what ends up happening is, nobody's invited to this little birthday soiree except for Denise Richards, okay? We're going to get back to that. So we see date night with Mauricio and Kyle, and of course they're talking about the whole situation, and Kyle, and Mauricio is like, look, that's what Mauricio said, he wasn't crazy about how Ken talked to her, but he was like, look, y'all argue, y'all fight. This is what y'all do. This is who Lisa is. This is who Lisa has always been. And basically, he's like, you gotta make a decision. If this is the relationship you want, because Lisa is who she is. And I don't think he was making any excuses for Lisa, but he was just saying, it's been quoted a million times, when a person shows you who you are, believe the first time. You've had the same argument with Lisa, just over different things. Lisa has her own mindset about loyalty and what a friend should do and how a friend should act. Now, I understood a little bit more kind of where Kyle was coming from. I still feel like Kyle didn't need to get in the middle of that. I still feel like that wasn't Kyle's place, but I feel like she inserted herself in a situation that wasn't her business. But I understood sort of where she was coming from now. She explained it a little bit more. But what was crazy to me was that the rest of the ladies were like, well, we don't understand why she's not speaking to us. Why is she angry with us? After her and Kyle had this argument, why is she not speaking to us? And I'm like, because Kyle told her about the conversation, and Kyle said that everybody believed that she leaked that story. So in her mind, it's not just Kyle that is the enemy now. All of y'all are. Everybody who was at that dinner. That's how she feels. And so I don't understand why y'all are on the shit list now. Because even though she physically had the argument with Kyle, Kyle told her in the argument, everybody feels this way. And Lisa even said everybody who. So everybody who was at that little dinner on the shit list, except for Denise, which I find interesting. Denise is Lisa's in. Denise is Lisa's way of, one, sticking it to the other ladies. I'm going to invite everybody. I'm not going to invite anybody except for her. She's my golden child now. Kind of remember how last year Teddy, her teddy bear and all of that. Remember how that went down last year? It's sort of the same mindset, that I still have this one person who she's my golden child, so that everybody can look at her and be jealous and be mad and try to figure out, well, why her and not us, which is what they all did. When they found out she got an invitation to the birthday party, they were like, well, why did Denise get invited and none of us get invited? I mean, she's only known Denise for 5 minutes. Why? That's exactly why. So y'all can have those conversations. And we'll get to that. And for y'all to do exactly what y'all did, but we'll get to that. The other story that we kind of talked a little bit about this episode was PK and his diabetes. Now, PK, you have entirely too much money to have these problems. And what I mean by that is, You have the ability to hire someone who can cook you food that is all the stuff that you're supposed to eat, but tastes like the stuff you ain't supposed to eat. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Remember when Oprah lost all that weight? And she's done a decent job of keeping it off. I mean, she's thick, but she's not what she was. And what I always said, and it's not to take away from what she did, but what I always said was, yeah, if I had the money to have a private chef that cooked all of my meals to make sure they were healthy and they were the things I was supposed to eat, and I had a gym in my home, and I had somebody who came in and worked me out, made sure I did the right exercises and stuff like that, I'd lose weight too. You know what I'm saying? And that's not taken away from what she did. But I say that to say with PK, I get it. I get having the sweet tooth. I get having the cravings. I get feeling like I want to eat what I want to eat and drink what I want to drink. But when the doctor tells you, you need to do these things, or your life could be altered, and the end game could be death, you got too much money for this bullshit, PK. I'm sorry. And, you know, Dorit, you doing what you can do as a wife. You can't make nobody do nothing. Now, I do think you could do a better job of having healthy options. Because when they showed that spread that they had for lunch, you had bread, you had pasta, you had this, you had that. Now, mind you, that was after y'all figured out how to work the NutriBullet, which I have one of those. And they make really good smoothies when you use them correctly. Now, mine has been collecting dust. I got to dust it off, and I need to start doing my smoothies again, especially with the weather warming up. But you can't make him. But you're doing what you're supposed to do as a wife. You nagging him. You reminding him how serious it is. And I think that you should. I can say you need to. But I think you should hire a full-time chef, even if it's only for a couple of weeks, just to see that, and tell them that you want to make diabetic-friendly meals, but you want them to taste good. You said you can't make him eat vegetables. Okay, well, again, lead the horse to water. But if you give him the option, and that's what's put in front of him 3 times a day, even if he only eats one meal, that means that at least one meal that day was a healthy option versus what he's doing now. That's just my 2 cents. Now, with that, moving on. We see the ladies do one of the flying yoga class. Now, we saw this on Real Housewives of Atlanta earlier this season when they were down at the beach. We saw them do one of these classes. Now, I will say these ladies did a much better job than those Atlanta girls. But either way, they still were like, hey, this may not be my thing. But it was Denise, Erica, and Lisa. It was okay. I mean, it was decent. Their conversation, they talked about, they brought Lisa Rinna up to date on what happened, because she wasn't at the dinner when Kyle told them what happened and how she got put out the house. We found out Erica's tour sold out, and Lisa said she wants to have like a little something for Denise, just as a bridal, since, you know, her wedding was so rushed, they weren't able to really do anything for her. So she wants to have like a dinner for her, you know, just to celebrate the wedding. So that's kind of what that conversation was. And, you know, they talked about Lisa and Kyle's relationship in the past, but, you know, Lisa Rinna is like, I don't know if this is something they can come back from. Like, it seems different than their arguments in the past, but we'll see. I'm so sorry. We see Denise talking to her husband. Honey, they are installing cameras in the house because she said, look, my daughter is 15 now. She's starting to sort of buckaroony a little bit. She wants to start dating. And I know I started sneaking out the house at 15. So we're going to put these cameras up around the house so that if she starts sneaking out the house, I can catch her. She said, I know what I was doing at 15. And I'm going to try to prevent it. And to their credit, they didn't hide it. They weren't hiding it from the kids. They said, look, we're putting these cameras up so you will know. Now, you act accordingly. All that means is that she's going to find a different way to get in and out that house. But I respect the fact that Denise is saying, look, I see some things as a parent, and this is how I'm going to address it. I ain't mad at you. It's your house. If you want to put a camera everywhere but the bedroom, you put a camera everywhere but the bedroom. That's your house. And that's your child that you're trying to protect. I'm not mad at you at all. You do what you do. So, Come to find out, so in that moment, Denise is talking to her husband about whether she should say something to Lisa. She said, look, I ain't got no beef with Lisa. I feel kind of weird because I'm cool with Lisa, but I've been privy to all these other conversations. Should I say something? Bitch, no. You stay out of that. That ain't your business. That ain't your fight. That ain't your place. And that's pretty much what her husband told her. He did say, though, if she had a conversation and the music, and the situation presented itself and she felt like it was appropriate time to maybe voice an opinion or concern, go for it. He said, but for real, that ain't your fight. It's not your fight. And I agree. I see where you coming from. I understand how you feel when you feel like you kind of doing this thing right here. I get that. But at the end of the day, that is not your fight. Nope. Because it's going to backfire on you. I already see how this reunion about to go down because Camille gonna get it. And I'm about to tell y'all why Camille gonna get it. Camille is gonna get it. And I'm going to tell you, Denise is going to get it a little bit because Denise said something. And I know what Denise said, but I'm going to tell you what Lisa heard. Denise said, if she did this, Lisa fights dirty. And I don't want to get on her bad side. But what Lisa is going to hear is, she did this and she fights dirty. I promise y'all that's what she's going to hear. Because the first time she said it, that's what I heard. When they did like the little preview. But then when they showed her whole conversation, she said, if Lisa did this, she fights dirty. That's what she's going to, So, Lisa ended up calling Denise and inviting Denise. Her birthday dinner ended up being the same night that Rinna planned a little get-together to celebrate her wedding. So, Denise was like, well, the way Lisa made it seem like was come have a drink with me before my birthday dinner. And because Denise told her, I have another engagement that I have to get to. And Lisa was like, that's no problem. We'll just have a drink before you go. No problem. Celebrate my birthday. And she said, sure. Great idea. The ladies are coming. Erica can't come because she's rehearsing for the play. But we have Lisa, Rinna, Camille, Dorit, Teddy, and then Denise showed up later. And and Kyle was there. And Denise told them where she was going and why she was going to be late. So of course, before she got there, all the girls were just like, oh, so she gets invited and we don't get invited? So how does Denise get invited? Like, everybody. And you could tell Kyle was so hurt. Dorit and Kyle were probably the most hurt because Dorit and her husband had a conversation before. And PK was like, well, no, I didn't get an invitation. And he was like, Lisa, when Lisa's ready to talk to me, she'll talk to me. But again, all the ladies are acting like they don't understand why they're on the outs with Lisa. Y'all on the outs with Lisa because Kyle told Lisa that all y'all thought that she leaked that damn story. So again, that's where y'all are. Y'all in the doghouse. All of y'all out there together. So Denise goes to the dinner. And of course, Lisa's late. She's got to make a grand entrance. It's her birthday. She should. And Denise, says, I bought a gift. She said, I have another engagement. I can't stay. And of course, Lisa tried to get her to stay. Lisa knew she had somewhere else to go. Lisa probably knew where she was going. Oh, you sure you just can't stay? Oh, you sure? Oh. And Denise was like, no, I can't. She said, And then she tried to say, well, I feel a little weird about this whole situation. And Lisa told her, oh, don't get in the middle of this. This has nothing to do with you. And she said it really nicely, but she let her know, don't get in the middle of this. You better listen. You better stay out of that. Not your fight. So, then we get back over to the dinner. And of course, as soon as Denise gets there, Kyle is, and it was so obvious. Kyle was like, well, how you doing? How's your husband? How are your kids? How's married life? So what did Lisa say? I said it was so obvious that you were just so desperate to be there. And you were so hurt that you didn't get invited to this little dinner soiree. And Kyle just kept, well, what did she say? I mean, she didn't say anything about us. I mean, what did she say? Did she mention anything? She didn't say anything. That's all she said. And I was like, poor Kyle. Her feelings are so hurt. And I get it. I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, I really get her being upset. And I really get her, her feelings being hurt. You know what I mean? But it was just so obvious. And that's exactly what Lisa wanted. Lisa invited one person from the group so that she could go back to the rest of the group and let them know that Lisa is unbothered. She made sure she didn't mention nothing about nobody. She didn't engage Denise in no conversation. And that's exactly what she wanted. She wanted the word to get back that I am unbothered. I am good. I'm here with my real friends and family. Not bothered. That was the whole purpose of that. Now, real quick, let me tell y'all about Miss Camille Grammer. Lisa is going to burn your ass up at the reunion. Do you hear me? I don't know what you drank, smoked, or popped before you walked up in that dinner. But Camille got to talking about... She talked about Kelsey. But she always throw little pot shots at Kelsey. Okay, whatever. But she got to talk about Lisa Vanderpump. She talked about her teeth. And she said, you know, I was a dental assistant, so it really bothered me before Lisa got her teeth done. I said, oh. What'd she say that for? She made a couple of little comments about Lisa. And when I say, all the girls were laughing, but all of them said in their confessional, Camille, you going too far. Camille, you doing too much. Camille, you saying too much. All of them said it. I mean, even Teddy and Lisa Rinna was like, look, I done had my problems with Lisa Vanderpump, but even I have never gone this far. She gonna get your ass. She gonna get you. The other thing that, and I'm gonna just throw this out there because it was mentioned before, and Lisa Rinna mentioned it again tonight, but I'm just gonna throw it out there. Camille seems to have a problem with Dorit. Yes, she invited Dorit to her wedding. And Lisa was like, I find it interesting that you don't trust Dorit. You think she lying about how much money she has. You think she fake and phony. But every time we around her, it's all Dorit, Dorit, Dorit. And you invited her to your party. She's like, I wouldn't invite somebody to my party that I felt like was shady or I felt like I couldn't trust. That's very interesting. Now, that's the second time that's come up. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that out there because maybe they going somewhere with that storyline. We'll see. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace. Y'all, you know what? These are the best conversations. Under this video, y'all give me some good comments. We had some really good back and forth because, you know, you have people who believe Lisa, people who don't believe Lisa, people who believe Dorit, people who don't believe Dorit. And there's been some great theories on who leaked this story. Keep them coming, y'all. Keep them coming.